What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my studio. I'm Joseph Finchum, you are you, and today we're going to be doing something. I have a basic concept and idea in my head. I have the paper here on my drawing table, and I have a bowl full of leaves. So, small correction to the description. Um, Thank you, Clark Fine Art, Angela, for letting me know that the audio and video is good. Okay, so small correction to the description. It says I'm using Arches paper. I am not using Arches paper. I am using the Hansen. Uh, I'm not a huge fan of this paper and the way it warps and wobbles when it gets wet. But I opened up my Arches pad and realized that I had used the last sheet last time I used watercolor paper and forgot about it. But that happens. So we're going to be using the Hansen paper, not the Arches. So I'll fix that later after the stream. So yeah, let's get into it. Hello, Tara. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so I have these leaves, and I'm just gonna dump some of them out here. There's also a berry or two. Um, my basic idea and concept is to do like a spiral pattern. Thought I had a smaller leaf here somewhere, but I guess I don't. I want the smallest one first, but I don't. I thought I had a small green one. There it is. Okay, so I should actually probably work this backwards, but so I'm going to start with a small green one right in the center here like that. And then there should be a slightly bigger leaf. Yeah, see, the green leaf should be on, the smallest leaf should be on top. So this is going to be a pain in the butt to figure out. But, and then that has to go under. So you get the basic idea. And they'll spiral around all the way up until an oak. See, I picked some of these, I pulled some of these off of the tree yesterday, so they're already drying out and getting brittle. So the oak will be probably the last leaf that I use as reference. I have a whole bunch of different leaves here. Hopefully it'll come out cool. Gonna be, it's gonna be a weird one. So, hey George, hey Simmac, thank you both for joining me. Yes, Angela, I hope you are feeling much better, or at least somewhat better. But much would be better. Okay, so, pencils. Where's my green leaf? What color do we have here? I should have had a piece of test paper out, and I don't. Um, hmm. Here's a scrap of paper in my garbage can. Okay, that's not too far off. Okay, so we're gonna have to get the basic shape right. Just gonna lightly fill it in, because this is the watercolor pencil, and I'm gonna blend it out with water. Get it down in that tooth. I'm also going to add just a tiny bit of yellow to this, so I can just kind of lighten up the color a bit. And then if I need to go back darker towards more green, I can do that. Video on demand, not live. That's what that means, George. So, let's see if we can blend this out just a tiny bit, see what and how this does. That is lightening up a lot, probably because the brush is picking up a lot of the pigment, but it's also getting it down into the tooth of the paper, which is what we want. Wow, you can't see that at all. How is that so off? Let's see here. That ain't gonna do it. That helps a little bit. You can at least sort of tell it's there. Move that one aside. Find the next one I want to use. Which is this one. Which is going to be much more of the yellowy color in the base. That should be almost straight. And this is just the base coats to block them in. Hello, Joanna. Thank you for joining me. Since you're new here, these are these are informal live streams. It's not necessarily instructional, although you may learn something, you may not. These are just hanging out with, some of the other people who watch my videos and my live streams and blah blah blah. So welcome, glad to have you here. Okay, this needs just a tiny bit of a light green in a few spots, very very lightly. Just a little hint of the green in there. And then let's call this like a mid-orange, a light orange. And I'll have to be a little less, I don't know, intrusive with the blending. Definitely more orange to the left side than it is the right. Go for a little bit of darker orange. Get some spots going in here. Again, this is just the blocking in of colors. I'm going to change my brush this time because I didn't like the way that one was blending. Paper towel. Just like the live stream today, I am not prepared. that thing, what do you call it? Life got in the way. And so everything was kind of shuffled around and put on hold. I only got the live stream scheduled this morning. Yeah, stuff happens. Something I'm sure we can all relate to. I know I shouldn't do this while it's wet, but I'm trying to get just a little bit more of the green in there. That is really hard to see. That should be dry, so I can come back in with a little bit more of the green. It's not totally dry. At least it doesn't feel like it is. We'll move on to another leaf while that dries and that dries. And I'm not looking all over the place today because I don't have a reference photo, so I don't have to look all the way over there. Yes, Clark Fine Art. It is the put somewhere where I forgot where it is already. No, I didn't. It is the blue, the Hansen XL, the blue one. It's not the best paper in the world. You know that. You've used it. But it's not terrible either. Okay, this one's going to start. I need to turn that around. That's the end of it, I think. No, that's the stem. Okay. Leave it like this. I'm going to start here. No, that can't be the stem. Which way are the veins going? Yeah, that's the stem. Okay. I'm no botanist. I'm probably off screen too. Like I said, everything was set up in a hurry. If I'm going too far off screen, let me know. I'll try and adjust that. Hi, Starving! Thank you for joining me. It's always nice to have the friendly trolls here. Just so I can kind of keep my colors separate, drawing this in both colors. Little tiny circles, get that in the tooth. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to finish this off with these pencils or if I'm going to switch to the regular Faber-Castell, the polychromos, whatever, you know. You know the ones I'm talking about. But I might just stick with this to try and keep it consistent. Okay. Try and switch brushes here. Again. I'll find one I like eventually. The only other two times I've used these watercolor pencils, I've used them where in the way that you scribble some on the page and then you pick it up like it was regular watercolor. So this is new to me. This could also probably be a little longer, but it works for what I'm doing. It's going to need to be a little more. It feels a little denty, Angela. Like, I feel like it's, I don't know, giving under the pencil a little too much. But I haven't had anything that didn't blend out yet, so that's good. At least as far as I can tell. Okay. Which should be next? This one, I think, because this one is big and fat. I should have drawn a circle here to begin with, but no, I don't want to risk putting something on this page I can't get out. This would be about like that. That's a little too shallow. There we go. To here. There we go. I think the shape is a little off, so that feels a little more right. Okay. There's probably a bit of glare going on here too. I have glare on the leaf, so I assume there's some bouncing of light going on here. Oh, autofocus. Urgh. Okay. Hopefully that'll keep us steady. Okay. I need a way to see this leaf better. Let me pull it down. I don't know if this is what it actually looks like. It's what I'm seeing, though, with, like I said, I'm dealing with a little bit of glare here. A lot of this leaf looks white at the moment, but I know it's not white. Hey, Heather. Long time no see. Thanks for joining in. It's always appreciated. Put a very light amount of green here, and then more of the red over it. And I'm actually hoping that's going to make a bit of an almost brown color. Red and green, brown, makes sense to me. I still want that reddish color showing through. So hopefully this will work. And it'll probably end up getting much darker. We'll see how this does. Using just the very tip of the brush. And I'm trying to do the spots that are just red first. Because I know how this paper has a tendency to buckle, at least it has for me, I'm trying to keep I'm trying to use as little water as I can. Oh yeah, that's coming out. Light orange. Definitely has to be darker. Just a little bit more of that red in there. Hmm. I would I would be interested in trying that. I've never done that before. I do, however, I've always had like an inkling of an idea of doing something with like actual watercolor paint and trying to basically do like lines that are the tops of everything in the picture and then trying to like mist water on it and letting it run down a little bit and creating the picture as it, slowly drifts. But I don't think it'll work. I've never been able to pull it off. I've tried a couple times. Okay, we're going back to the first green leaf and trying to. We're going to start darkening this up a little. Getting a little bit more green in there. And trying to do it without damaging the tooth too much. May even need to go a little darker than that, so. I'm going to leave that alone for a second. Go back to this one. I'm going to get a similar but not exact pattern on that. I get trying to figure out better routes. I I don't drive anymore. I use public transportation all the time, or I ride a bike. Mostly, I ride a bike. But that's not what I wanted to do. That's the wrong leaf entirely. But yeah, I feel for you, George. We're going to go down to a magenta here. Try and make this much darker. Trying to give the loose impression of some selling, some cells of the leaves, you know, veins and cells and whatnot. I'm gonna have to work a little more green into that as well. I'm tapping the brush to try and get the water into the pigment, but not move it around too much. At least not down, not up there. We're definitely going to bring that much greener. I will look into them. I definitely will look into them. Because maybe they can, maybe watching them will make me figure out what I'm doing wrong. I will definitely look into them. Thank you for suggesting it, Starving Artist. Okay, that is cleaned off a little bit. This is, where am I going here? This. That's not going to work exactly how I want it to. Darken up this edge. here. Just a little bit more green into this. It's not as green, you know. The leaf itself is not as green. It's definitely, when I picked it yesterday, it was, but today it's got a lot more brown in it, probably because it's been sitting in my warm studio drying all night. In. We're definitely going to be adding more color to that. Okay. Don't blow on the paper when you have leaves all over it. That's a good idea. Okay. I think since that's a big, like, roundish fat one, and the shape is still off, I know. I'm going to go for a thin one next. Just somewhere where I can completely see it. I missed something, but you could. And if you're wondering, no, I don't have any swatches of these pencils. I'm I'm just mixing as I see and trying to adjust on the fly. So a bit more yellow towards the tip. Just a little bit of darkness right in here. Just making sure it's clean. Very hard to not reactivate that red. Getting a little sloppy here. That's okay. Do it. Go all the way back to the beginning again. Hmm. Try a little bit of this to see if that helps it darken a bit. Or if it just lifts right off, which it did. I'm not sure if it's the pigment or the paper, but this might be, the paper might be pilling a bit. And I'm using almost no force. Yeah, that does feel a little bit like pilling. It all makes sense now. Okay. Leaf number 4, this one? You would be wrong. I can tell you there is no poplar. Okay, this, a tiny bit of brown in here. Even that's not dark enough yet. Did forget its little stem though, so let's give it its little stem. A little brown, a little green. Just working on values and trying to slowly darken this to where I want it. Oh, we're an hour into this already? Wow. This, I'm adding some actual dark brown into it. Hopefully I've got enough of that red and magenta down so that it'll shine through the brown. We'll find out. Always just trying to correct my values. Get them closer to what I'm seeing in front of me. less like I'm making it up as I go along. Because sometimes I'm making it up as I go along. We all do that, right? Still not saturated enough, so we'll definitely have to be coming back to that. Hmm. Okay, so the long one, this one, I assume, which is the longest, would be number 5. This would be 4, 3, 2, 1. The green one is 1. I think we can agree on that, right? But I will tell you that the oak is the only leaf I have from a tree. Everything else is from a bush, because those are the first things that are starting to change around here. If that helps you make a guess. Okay, what's next? I want something, one of the ones that have somewhere in between this and this. So, see if I can bend this a little bit. And you know what? I'm going to remove most of this stem. That's the leaf. Yeah, so nice green trim on that edge and yellowy green on the other edge. So I'm going to draw it out using, it's going to go right in here. Right there, maybe. That's really big. Maybe I have something small. I do have some, I wanted to keep the colors changing as they went, but I may have to jump right into different one. Decisions, right? Okay, I'm gonna jump right into a red one because it's bigger and it'll stand out a little more. Right about there. Let me use the red. Give myself a little bit of a guide. Little bit of a dent in this leaf. So I'm going to try and include that. can make that work. Okay, not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. And you are, of course, seeing it at a different angle than I am, so you don't know if it's good or bad. But take my word for it. It's okay. I'm going to go to a brighter red in a second. I know I should be making smaller circles, but I'm not. Okay, are we still talking about the same? I could. Yeah, I could see myself doing that too. That is definitely something I would do. Let's put it that way. I don't need this line here yet, but I'm going to try and base it in, see how well it goes. I'm probably going to end up blending most of this out by accident anyway, but make sure this is clean. No yellow and brown or green and brown in it. Here we go. It's lifting a little too much. Get some color back in there. There we go. I was leaving a little highlight there, but I got rid of it. Well, okay, so where'd that go? Not the one I was looking for. I don't think so. Definitely not tobacco, and tobacco does, well, I guess it could grow here. I don't know, but that's more Georgia's area, isn't it? Where was it? Ah, there it is. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, these are all shrubs. If you want to know, and one of them's just a flower plant, I guess. So far we have, this is Euonymus, which is a bush, um, mostly green. Turns this color in the fall, and even a deeper red sometimes, but mostly it's a bright red, and it has these little bright orange berries or seeds or whatever they are. But they, compared to the red, they usually look a bright orange. These have faded a little bit since yesterday. I don't know if you can even see that, but yeah, it's a bright orange. Then there is Forsythia, Azalea. What am I missing? Forsythia, Azalea. The long ones are from Butterfly Plant and not Butterfly Bush, Butterfly Plant. I don't know if I need to make a distinction there, but and then the oak. So, and this one has gone fully brown. It was a yellowy orange yesterday. How are we doing here? 412? We got plenty of time. Am I gonna finish this? No. We'll do that next week. But we're getting somewhere. That's gonna need a lot more red in it. And it's not dry enough yet. We can go back to this one. Hey, Paulo. Thank you for coming by again. And anyone out there who's new, there have been a few new people in the last couple of weeks. And some have dropped in, some have dropped out, some have said hello. Most of you are lurkers, but I don't mind lurkers. Lurk all you want. According to YouTube, only 30% of my views are coming from subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, hit the buttons, do the things. a little bit more water. Since I'm using so little pigment, I'm not even using like a bucket or even like a little jar or anything. I'm just putting it on top of my water bucket in little droplets and then dipping my brush into those droplets. Because I'm trying to keep it as dry as possible as long as I can. I do not want the warping, or bubbling, or curling, whatever the heck they call that stuff. You all know what I'm talking about. Most of you know what I'm talking about. Well, I'm not really a botanist, but I do know a lot. I know how to care for every single plant on my property. And whenever possible, I only add new plants that are native to my area. Because I already have some stuff that shouldn't be here. In my front yard, I have what started as a bush and we thought was a bush, but it's pretty much a tree now. But it's a Korean spice bush, and it smells beautiful when it blooms, but it's really not good for the habitat. The things around here, the bugs and creatures, they don't know what to do with it. Okay, this needs to go darker. Not too much, though. Probably go with a little brown here. Just to give a little differentiation in the color. Going to get the edges a little bit more. Make them a little darker. See how that blends out. Feeling dry, it is feeling dry. Let's get some much more pigment in here. You keep that color moving in the direction of the leaf and the veins. A little too aggressive with my brush up there. Okay, back to here. I can soften. Blues and pencils. See if I can soften this a bit, is what I was trying to say before I so rudely interrupted myself. Yeah, this year is very confusing for the plants on my property with the temperature swings and after the heat wave. Like I have a strawberry plant out there that is making strawberries like it's spring or something. It's very confused. It doesn't know what to do. And then I have some bushes and stuff that are starting to change for fall. Very strange. Forgot where I was going. No. Indeed. This needs to be much darker. And much more brown. I'm just gonna keep bouncing around until I get, you know, something I like. Still not happy with that one. It's coming out kind of funky. Ooh, citrus trees. What kind of citrus trees? Funny bone. I have mostly berries. I have blueberries, I have strawberries, I have Carolina pine berries, I have grapes, green and red. That's what I have so far. I'm trying to make, in the long run, I would like to make my entire property 50% edible. That's my goal anyway. I want to add apples and pears next. But that's, my house is surrounded by trees. We have 29 trees around my entire property, um, most of which are pine and never stop shedding, so it's constant work. Um, yeah, but if I can figure out where to put them, apples and apples and pears maybe next. Citrus is a little tough here, doesn't get super hot, so. This, I don't know what that is. Hmm. Mine too. Mine, we have hostas that just bloomed like last week. The leaves are starting to change already, but it's making flowers. They're the purple ones or purplish ones. I don't know if all hostas are purple, but the ones we have are purple. The flowers are purple. I'll figure out what I'm saying eventually. Okay, so should I move on to another leaf or just keep working on the 6 that I have? Would that be big enough for in there? It would be big enough for in there. And I can change this from looking like that one by adjusting the colors a bit. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so a little bit of that light brown. Idea where my stem is. Tracing a leaf. I am a tracer. Well, I'm not tracing, but I'm giving myself guidelines. And as I get further towards completion, which will not be today, I will be adding some, like a little bit of drop shadowing in between each one, and I'm assuming the light is coming from this direction, so I'll figure it out. just so that's not so. Where did I put that? Oh, over here. So it's not so overpowering. I'm definitely going to be bringing some green in. How far does that go? About there. Spreads out a little bit towards the bottom. I probably don't need this wide of a strip of yellow. It's very faint on the leaf. But we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm gonna change the colors up a bit. So it's not as pronounced. But I'm not gonna change the colors. I'm just gonna alter what's already there. Back to that same green. Start mixing that into that. I know it'll mix a little bit more as I blend it. And it's definitely going to go towards orangey reddish. So, in here. It's definitely an orange. I thought I picked up my red by accident. Which wouldn't have been terrible, but wouldn't have been great either. I want to warm up that outer edge darker color a little bit, so going back in a little bit more with some lighter brown. The darker brown is the walnut brown, I think. And this is the raw umber. I did know. I did know that. because I constantly argue with my dad about stuff like that. Like tomatoes are fruit, bananas are berries, um, corn is grass, you know. And it's not arguing, it's playful arguing. Hello, Line LaChance. Thank you for subscribing. You made that bell go off, the one that I never hear. That line is very harsh. Don't want that harsh of a line yet. Okay. Hi, Teresa. Thank you for dropping in. And it's all good. We don't care if you're late. We're all just happy to see you. Trying to gently get a little bit of magenta on this while it's wet. I know I shouldn't. I've said it before. It is not great for the tooth of the paper. We're definitely starting to get somewhere. Back to. I'm still not happy with this green. All of my greens seem to be a little too vibrant. I'm afraid if I add too much of this dark blue, it's going to go too far blue. But I have used dark blue to darken green before with some success. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. We'll see how this goes. Most of it's lifting instead of blending. Maybe I should try painting a bit on. Maybe that'll. Don't want it too dark. Bled a little bit. See if I can clean up that edge. I can always come back in with the magic eraser later. See if I can lift a little bit more of it up. That definitely looks like it's pilling up, and I don't like it. I am working it a lot though, so it could be my own fault. Still want more green in here, so I'm going to try and get some of that in there. Give it a little texture, maybe that'll help hide how bad the color is. And it's not bad, it's just not right. You know how it is. Hmm. Good to know. There. Someone out there learned something on one of my live streams. Doesn't have to be art related. I can take credit for that, right? Right? Okay. let's be serious here. That's this one. That one should definitely be more green as well. And I did say I was going to come back in with some green. And then I forgot to do it. And I haven't given you guys a closer up view yet. How's that? that a little better? Sort of see what I'm doing. Leaf look, texture. A little more value as well. Keep losing my brush. Don't lose your brush. Don't overwork it. Okay. Yay. Yes. Yes, it is. It always is. That's why there are, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Carnivorous plants. That's weird. Carnivorous plants are weird. Especially ones that smell like rotting flesh. Weird. One giant flower that smells like rotten flesh. Why? What made that a good idea? um, try and get a little bit more glow to this. See if we can get a little more orange in here. Light orange. A little bit more green. Should go this way. Yes, there are ones that obviously do not smell like rotten flesh, which is weird. Little fly traps and stuff like that, they're cool. Yes, yes, no. Do not add it to your collection. Okay, I think this is where we're gonna call it. We've got some good bases down. Got most of it blocked in. This one could be a little better. This one could be a little better. Hopefully, as we go around and we get more leaves, because as we come around this way, they're going to continue to get bigger and then keep circling out. I may do a little work on this outside of the live streams, but there are other things where I'm working on, so maybe not. Thank you to Angela for being my mod. Thank you to everybody new for showing up and saying hi. If Joanna is still out there, on your first attempt at my live streams, thank you again for joining. All of my patrons, thank you for watching stuff and giving your feedback. Your feedback is always very important to me. I keep ending my sentences like they're questions. Anyway, yes. So we will continue this next week. Hopefully, it shouldn't take more than next week. New early access goes up on Friday. Old early access, the first VOD content early access thing, will become live on Friday. And I don't know, there's probably a short that I made going up somewhere in the middle of the week, probably Wednesday. I think that's when I scheduled them for. I made a whole bunch of them and then scheduled them one per Wednesday for the next 2 months, and I don't know which ones are which or when I scheduled them for, so it's a surprise to me too. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Check out the description, check out links, do all that stuff, hit the buttons, do the things, like and subscribe, like Starving Artist just said. Yeah, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.